Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity, y'all, to either make money in the market or to just learn from the market, right? So let me go ahead and give my disclaimer, y'all. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth, and the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. With that being said, y'all, let's get started. So we are looking at the VIX, and I'm going to go to the 30-minute chart. And as you can see, the VIX hit a low yesterday of 1262, only to rebound. I would say bounce back to, today's pre-market high is at 1226, back in this area. So are we going to continue to the upside, which will bring SPY to the downside, or are we going to, find resistance here, get rejected here, and come back to the downside? That's yet to be seen, right? So as of now, our trouble places for the VIX is right here at 1328 and at 1331. Looking at it on this 30-minute chart, if by chance we continue to the upside, just know that we're going to have trouble in those areas. Now the VIX is kind of in an interesting place because, again, we can't get rejected here and come. We are well above the 5 EMA. We can come back down to this 1311, 1307, and again at 1305. The 200 EMA is at 1301. So those are going to be trouble places for us to the upside and to the downside. So it kind of gives us a direction as to which way the SPY could possibly go. So let's go look at the SPY just to see where we are. And looking at it on this 30-minute chart, SPY is interesting as always. I'm going to see, SPY is interesting as always, right? So I drew this line here because it looks like it was creating a bear flag for us. We are under the 5 EMA. We closed at 535.66, and as you can see, we made a pre-market low. The low of this candle here is at 533.55. So that we're under the 5 EMA. We're under the previous close. So it looks like we are declining. Our 5 and 50 did cross. We are going down. So where are our trouble places to the downside for the SPY? Let's say that. So as of right now, we are resting here at support at 533.83, which is, as you can see, this again is a 30-minute chart, and this candle has not closed. Let me say that. So we are at 533.83, and the next level of support is at 533.69, 533.69, and if we should come back down to this 530, let's see, this candle low is 533.55. So if we break this 69, we can come down to 533.55. If we should break that, just know that the 200 EMA is at 533.41. So to the downside as of now, those are trouble places based on this 30-minute chart. And looking at it on this 1 hour time frame, if we break below that 533.55 area, we have 533.45, which is right at that ATR trailing stop. Now, normally, sometimes it can come to this ATR trailing stop, bounce, find support, and bounce back to the upside. But if by chance it breaks this 533.45, we can come back and retest this area here of 533.10. And if we break 533.10, I will be looking at 532.61. Those are going to be trouble places for us as of now for the SPY. And just keep in mind, the SPY normally moves $4.88. Looking at it on this daily chart, it looks a little congested, but $4.88 is the ATR, which is the average true range. It's basically an estimate of how much the stock moves on a daily basis. So the SPY is going to be interesting. It looks like we are going down as of now. But again, I always say, y'all, when the bell rings, it's go time, and anything can change. Anything is possible, right? Nothing is guaranteed. So we are looking at Tesla. Tesla is Tesla. I say that often, right? So as of now, we had pre-market support at this 173.56 area. Tesla is kind of trading in this gathering spot with support, resistance being at 174.01. We've come to test this 20 EMA at 174.21. And as you can see, looking at it on this 30-minute, we did get rejected, right? So if by chance it comes back to this place and breaks through, we know that we're going to have trouble at 174.60. That is our resistance. And if we break that, then that 174.80 is another level of resistance, which kind of get us close to that 175.12, which is 50 EMA and 175.51, which is this ATR trail and stop. So Tesla will need to break through all of this. Those are going to be trouble places for us. Now, looking at it on this 30-minute chart again to the downside, if we should break below 173.56, then know that we're going to have trouble at 173.11 and again at 172.77. Tesla is in an interesting place in my opinion because we've been trading in this gathering spot. Price has come back to this area, this here, 1, 2, and we're back at that place again at 3. I'm going to go to the daily chart just for one moment so that I can, this is on the 4-hour. We see that price has come back to this area here. It's a little bit clearer on the 4-hour chart, but looking at it on the daily chart, Tesla has been creating a gathering spot for us for a while. As you can see, price, I drew this little cream light line here and this light line here. Tesla has been trading in this zone here for a while. I would say normally it's gonna break out, and when I say break out, it's gonna have a strong move in whatever direction. So as of now, this is where Tesla has been trading. Yes, that's been on our daily chart. We are in this area, and it seems as if whatever move it breaks, it's probably going to be a strong move. Just keep in mind, we still have a gap to the downside at the 158 range from 147 to 158, or 158 to 147. So we do have a gap to the downside that needs to be filled. So it's just interesting that Tesla is trading in that zone, and based on the daily chart. So this is that shaded area. That's where Tesla has been trading for a while. I'm not sure when we actually started that. Let's go back and see. Since April the 25th, around April 25th, we're going to say ever since then, Tesla has been kind of trading in this area. Price went up, but it also came back to this area. So about May the 8th, around that time, Tesla has been trading in this box. So I would say if I traded Tesla, I would definitely watch that area. Just know that whatever move it's going to make, it's probably going to be a very strong move because we've been moving sideways for a while. NVIDIA, again, it's so interesting to say, to see it at 121 when it was just like 1200, right? So NVIDIA too is trading in a gathering spot for us. We have support here at 121.07 and resistance at 121.81, and this is our gathering spot. We're under the 5 EMA, and we're finding support right here at this 50 EMA. That 121.27, I would definitely watch that because as you can see, this is where price is as of now. And it seems like that 121.07, below that, we can come back down and test 120.52. If we break the 120.52, we can come back to 120.23, and below that 120.04. If by chance we break that 120.04, our next level of strong support is what I like to say with that ATR trail and stop. It's at 119.32. So if I traded NVIDIA, I would definitely say I need to watch that 119.32 because we can come back down to that and bounce, or we can continue down. Just know the 200 EMA is at the 118.55. Now, to the upside, because it could very well continue to the upside, right? So if we break above 121.81, just know that our next level of support is here at 122.41 and again at 122.55. If we break that 122.55, we can come back to the 122.78 and the 123.10, which are levels of support that we've previously tested and or gotten rejected, or so yeah, I would definitely watch those areas for NVIDIA. And let's see how much NVIDIA is moving now on a daily basis. $10.62. So the ATR for NVIDIA was $30 and $40. It is now down to $10.62, meaning it can move in either direction. $10.62. So if I traded NVIDIA, again, I would trade carefully, right? I always say, y'all, trade what you see. So we are looking at AMD, and AMD to me is always interesting. We have pre-market support at 159.87, resistance at 160.39, and as you can see, it's above the 5 EMA. We are making higher highs. So is it trying to go back to the upside? It looks as if the 20 EMA was resistance. We've broken through that, and it's now our support at 160.81. If it continues to, go to the upside, just know that we're going to have trouble at this 161.39 and again at 161.97. If we break that 161.97, 162.32 is a level of resistance, which is right at this 50 EMA at 162.34. So this 160.34 area, 162.34 area brings us really close to this ATR trail and stop. So we have a lot of resistance ahead at that 162 level for AMD. And let's see how much AMD normally moves on a daily basis. $7.42. And as you can see, it too is just moving kind of like sideways on this daily chart. So we have to be careful. If I always say, if you trade it, just trade what you see, allow your charts to come to you, or allow your trade to come to you, and make sure you have confirmation as to why you're entering the trade, right? So I would say trade carefully today. Now to the downside, if by chance we break where we are at this 159.87, we can come back to this 159.57 and again at 158.87. So those are areas I would watch AMD to the downside. If we break 158.85, if we break that area, then know that the 158.87 or 158.23, I keep seeing this 158.87, 158.23 would be our next level of support for AMD. So again, I always say y'all trade carefully and trade what you see. And we have some inside day candles, and I'll just give the triggers for those. I normally, charge point is one that was an inside day, and if it breaks above $1.83, then $1.84 is the target. Below, if it breaks 175, then 173 is the target, which is not a strong move, right? CLF, which is I think Cleveland Cliffs, is an inside day candle. If it breaks above 1580, then 1594 was the target, and as you can see, we are under that target already to the downside. 1556 gives a target of 1555. It just reached 1505, so we are well under the target for Cleveland Cliffs. And the interesting thing is, if we would have marked this inside day candle, we would have known that it could possibly move in either direction. You know, if it breaks below this, that we could have come down to test that target. So that's why it's important that we mark the inside day candles, or, you know, for me to mark the inside day candles, let me say that, and it helps build a watch list. So Carvana is an inside day candle. 110.70 above that gives us 110.96, and below 105.62 gives us a target of 102.70. And keep in mind, Carvana was trying to fill a gap to the downside, which it's closed at the 91.12 area, but it seems like we found support right above this 50 EMA and the ATR trail and stop. So just know that it came up, got rejected. We still are above the 5 EMA on this daily chart. However, it too has a gap to the downside that needs to be filled. I always say y'all trade carefully. JP Morgan is an inside day candle. If you trade the JP Morgan, I always say trade carefully. Keep in mind, it normally moves $3.15 per day, and the trigger to the upside, if it breaks above $200.81, then $200.91 will be the target. To the downside, which is a little bit closer to where we are as of now, is if it breaks below 198.43, that is not one, yes, 198.43, that is correct, then 196.99 is our target to the downside for JP Morgan. And I always say y'all trade carefully. Snap, which was interesting, Snap is an inside day candle also. Above 1557 gives a target of 1561. Below 1505 gives a target of 1495. So let's see how much it normally moves on a daily basis. And I just go through and see where I have inside day candles. It only moves 53 cents per day. But again, too, it is an inside day candle. If you trade Snap, that's something that those are the levels that I would definitely watch. SPY was an inside day candle, as well as SPX. Let's go to SPX just for the trigger to the upside. If SPX breaks above 53.65.91, then the target to the upside is 53.74.71. Now to the downside, if we break under 53.31.43, then the target is the 53.31.43, and SPX normally moves, let's see, about $48.64, y'all, and that can be in either direction. So it's interesting that it is an inside day candle. I always say trade what you see and wait on confirmation. I can't say that enough. Make sure you have confirmation, and once it goes against your why, get out. SPY 2 is an inside day candle. SPY is an inside day. So above 535.99 gives us a target of 536.85, and below 532.61 gives us a target of 532.54. So I would definitely watch the SPY to the upside or to the downside. Those are the triggers. As of right now, it seems like we are breaking back to the upside, and which is interesting. Just keep in mind we're going to have trouble at that 534.53 and this 50 EMA here at 534.72. So yeah, this is what I see when I look at the market, and it's going to be an interesting day today. Do not rush into your trades. Allow your trades to give you confirmation and know why you're entering. Don't just jump in, right? And make sure that once it goes against your why, get out. Set your stop loss, and if you don't use maybe you use a mental stop loss, whatever. Whenever it goes against your why, get out. So yeah, y'all, again, I hope these videos are very, very helpful. I hope that everyone have a very, very productive day, a very prosperous day. And y'all know I always like to leave you with this: be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.